No matter how much we know or think we know about God and His Word, there is always more. Today on Always More, Rebecca Keener discusses how the Holy Spirit is relevant to our everyday lives. He is the one who is our comforter in times of need and gives us the power to live a victorious life. Now, here's Rebecca.
Welcome everybody to Always More. It's great to be back with you. I'm Rebecca Keener, and I am joined this week with my two dear friends. We're doing a little series on standing with Israel, and I have some wonderful friends with me today. And welcome to you both. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you so much. It's a complete pleasure to be here with you.
You came back for another week. I'm very excited about that. I have with us today in the studio Miss Linda Selig. She is the founder of the White Rose Society, which you're going to be hearing all about, and Miss Julie Rau, who is the executive director of the White Rose Society and gets on the plane and does a lot of presentations all over the United States, and it's really making a difference. The White Rose Society, you're going to be so blessed to hear about what this organization is doing and the light they're shining. We're going to go to a video right now that's going to just tell you a little bit about who they are, how they started, and who's been a part. Enjoy.
My name is Linda Selig, and I've had the privilege of being involved with the White Rose Society since its inception. It has been such a joy to meet outstanding individuals who are showing their courage and using their voice and their platform to support the Jewish people. After October 7th, I think each and every one of us in the Jewish community was feeling overwhelmed, broken, sad, and very isolated. There was a tremendous silence for many of our allies.
We live in a really difficult and challenging time where there is so much anti-Semitism and Jew hatred all around us. And there are a few individuals here and there who have really stood up with tremendous courage and have stood with the Jewish people. And it's important for us as a Jewish community to say thank you for standing with the Jewish people at a time when we are deeply hurting.
I think that the White Rose Society does something which we should all be doing. It is recognizing those individuals who have the courage to stand for what is right.
The White Rose Society's name comes from a group of Christian students in Nazi Germany in 1942 who went by the code name White Rose. They were a lonely group of 7 or 8 people, young college students who had the courage to use their voice against the Nazis. The historical significance of anti-Semitism during World War II and what we're dealing with today was just incredibly striking.
There's been a lot of hate. There's been a lot of protests. We've seen all kinds of things, and it takes more courage to speak out. That's where the White Rose Society comes in, is they are having the backs of those that have the courage to say the truth. And I think that we need to continue to tell about what the White Rose Society is, talk about the recipients, but talk about the true meaning of the White Rose, which is friendship is one that you speak out when it's hard to speak out, and you spread the love when it's needed most.
One of the most beautiful parts of the White Rose is that it honors people of all walks of life.
Senator John Fetterman from Pennsylvania, and I have just been incredibly honored to receive this, the White Rose today.
I just wanted to take a moment to talk about this White Rose that I received the night before last. And I just want to express my gratitude for this award and to the White Rose Society.
This is a very, very high honor. Folks, what an honor to be able to stand with Israel.
I want you to know we will always be with you and beside you and for you. Am Israel Chai.
May we all be inspired by the example of the White Rose and find the courage to proceed from principle and do what is right.
We live in a world of moral confusion, and I will strive to be a fearless truth teller in a world of lies. We as Zionists are willing to stand up for what we believe is right, even if it means standing alone and I'm proud to stand with both the Jewish people and the Jewish state.
I lost most of my friends in Morocco doing this, especially after October 7th. So it's really, I feel very emotional that I am recognized by you.
I think the beautiful thing about the award, first of all, it was started by a small group of people, but it now belongs to the Jewish community. So it's open to people from every walk of life. Anyone can nominate, including non-Jewish people, can nominate somebody to receive this award. I think the greatest thing about the White Rose Society is the purity of it. We have one goal only, to express our gratitude and our thanks for people who have the moral courage to stand with us.
Amazing, truly. Every time I see that video, I just am so inspired and so blessed, and I know that blessed you as well. And Linda Selig is really the catalyst behind all of this, who just had courage after the events, the tragic events of October 7th, and she felt, I need to do something, and you did it. And look what has developed. Look what God has done, and look at the connections and the bridges that have been built.
It's really been an extraordinary journey, and really is. I feel it has been a blessing, not only in my life, but for our communities, the Jewish and Christian community, to come together. And it started out really just with an idea, and right after October 7th, I think everybody in the Jewish community, as we said on the video, just felt a sense of brokenness and abandonment. We had been involved in so many causes, social causes, over so many decades, and yet when these terrible things happened and we expected this wonderful embrace by our allies, it just didn't come. For the most part, people were silent. And that silence hurt as much as the violence. And then just starting the very next day, on October 8th, this explosion of anti-Semitism and Jew hatred, which has continued to this very day. It's global. It's all around us. It's in our universities, on the campuses in major cities, really all over the world. And so it was really a lot to put our mind around, and we did have this sense of isolation. And yet, because there were some brave people that were standing with us, that were expressing their support for Israel and the Jewish people, we said, you know what? There's so much darkness for us right now. We have to hold on to the light. And these people, these extraordinary individuals who are standing with us, are the light, and they give us comfort. So I had the idea of starting this really as the only mission of the White Rose Society is just to express our gratitude. So I called together a group of people I respected in the Jewish community who were congregational leaders, nonprofit leaders, foundation leaders, and we sat around my dining room table, and I had a little agenda that, here are the reasons that I think that we should be doing this. I said, just be honest, what do you think about this idea? And each and every one of them said, let's make this happen, let's do it, I'm in completely. And from that day forward, we've never stopped. And what started with this little group in Atlanta, Georgia, around my dining room table, is now spread to, I believe it's 23 states, 12 countries. We have over 180 award recipients. Each one of them, Rebecca, has such a beautiful story. They have touched our hearts in so many ways, and I feel, I have to use the word again, I feel blessed that this is what I do on a daily basis, to be able to meet these extraordinary human beings like yourself. And many have become great friends, like I believe we are great friends and lifelong friends now.
Yes.
And it has enhanced my life. And I've come to realize in the last 2 years that there is so much more that unites us as Christians and Jews than what separates us. And we have common Judeo-Christian values, and that brings us together, and we come together at the heart. So it has been really a magnificent journey. We have met such extraordinary people along the way, and the one thing I think that we did not anticipate going into it, we just really wanted to be able to recognize people, to thank people. But we found is, through this trip and through events that we've had, is the recipients are also a community. They want to stay together. They feel a sense of unity and sense of purpose that unites all of that.
Yes.
And so that is something that's now a second goal of ours, is to keep this community growing and together and feeling the embrace of each other as well.
That's great. Super. And your job, Julie, as I said before, is to get on a plane and take the White Rose recipients an award and to present it. How's that changed your life? I can't even imagine.
Well, sometimes Linda and I do that together. Sometimes we do it separately. But it has totally changed my life. First of all, I'm going and meeting people that you just, when you walk in the room and you meet them for the first time, the fact that they want to be recognized takes a lot of courage. And working with whoever we're working with, if it's their staff or if it's just, the person themselves, I've never felt anything but love and anything but like, how can we help you? And what we really, like Linda said, is so important is we have one mission, and that is to say thank you, and that we see you, and that we want to recognize you for standing sometimes with us, beside us, and as one recipient said, she stands in front of us. So we're very blessed, and we need to cultivate this community. We do know that that our recipients all have a similar goal when it comes to the Jewish community, and we need to cultivate that and foster this advocacy. It's important. Anti-Semitism is rearing its head. Once again, it really hasn't left, but we need all the friends we can get, and we appreciate every single person that we've recognized so far.
Powerful. And I feel so humbled to be one of the recipients, and I really feel unworthy, I'll have to say. We've done some programs here on Standing with Israel. We did some programs with my dear friend Pauline Plummer, who was actually in Israel on October the 7th, and she and her husband were appointed there by their church to be in Jerusalem. And then also with Anat Sultan Dadan, who was our Consul General. She's been on the program right after October 7th. So we've taught with our viewers a good bit. My dad, who was the founder of our ministry, Heritage Christian Fellowship, back in 1972, about 2 days before he passed, he said to me on the bed that he passed away in, he said, always, he kind of patted my leg, he says, always remember to stand by Israel. He said, always bless the Jewish people. And I said, yes, sir. And boy, those words just ring true. And even in what little we've done here to try to encourage all of you, continue to pray for Israel, continue to bless Israel, continue to pray and ask God to bring Jewish friends into your life. Even in all of that, it just seems so little. It seems like we've done nothing. And I want to do more. And I know our friends at home feel the same way who love Israel. God says, pray for the peace of Jerusalem, that you will be blessed. And so...
Well, I would have to say that you are such a humble person, but you are an incredibly powerful role model for others. And what you have done is way beyond what you can imagine. Wow. But your character reflects your modesty about all this. But you have made a really tremendous impact. And I want you to know that the whole Jewish community feels uplifted by the support that they're feeling. We get more calls from the Jewish community. How can we help you with this work? Because we love what you're doing. We've been at a presentation. So it is comforting. It's this embrace by our Christian friends that has really kept us resilient and knowing that we can get through all this.
That's powerful. And even in all that, I feel this sense of responsibility. I think I said this to you, Julie, about our recent delegation to Israel that you also graciously hosted and invited me and 14 others to be a part of. want to steward it well. You know, when God gives you an experience, you want to steward it well. You want to tell the story about it, but you want to do it how He wants you to do it, not just kind of put it out there. You want to. It's a treasure. That was a treasured thing, and I want to do more to stand with Israel. I want to be led by, we would say as Christians, the Holy Spirit, to do and say what He would have me to do, to be a better friend to you. And there's always more. That's the name of this program. There's always more that we can be doing. As two women of Jewish faith, what would you say to Christian women watching today on what more can we do to stand with you?
You know, it's interesting. I have a good friend who's also a devout Christian, and after October 7th, she said, you know, I was in my church, and we were all praying for Israel, but nobody in the Jewish community knew that we were doing that. And that was really very powerful, because I didn't know that. I don't think Julie would have been aware of that. And so it really was so important to hear that message. And I think what we need to do is really reach out to each other more. We're sort of in silos, but we need to really reach across, because these relationships are beautiful and meaningful and enhance our lives. And so I would say your advice to reach out or be a part of a program. You know, there's a program called U+2 that Julie's been a part of, and she can explain it more, that we ask a Jewish person to bring two non-Jewish friends to learn about what's happening. And there are programs like that. I've been involved in a program called Better Together.
Yes.
And that's a fellowship of Christian and Jewish women where we sit around a table, breakfast or dinner or lunch, and maybe 10 or 12 women, and just really talk from our heart about what our faith means to us, what questions we have about each other. And some of those relationships also, I've had friends for many, many years that I've never had that level of a conversation with. So it becomes a very deep and meaningful bond between people who came together really as strangers, but are now a part of each other's lives.
That's beautiful. That's Leah Aldridge.
That's Leah Aldridge.
And we want to reach out to her for her to be on, and let's
Yes.
talk about Better Together.
Yes.
I think that would be wonderful. One of the things that really just blew me away recently at your birthday party, I won't say which birthday party, but a very special birthday party, your 50th. Many of your friends and sisters, Jewish, embraced me. I did not know them. It was the first time meeting them. Many of them said, "Oh, darling, you're so fabulous. We watched the program." Did you know our Jewish brothers and sisters are watching Always More?
That's right.
That was so humbling to me that they would take their time out to watch and to listen to Atlanta Live when you have been on Atlanta Live. And what a blessing that night was. I know, Julie, you would say the same. There was so much love in that room, wasn't there?
Yes, it speaks volumes to Linda.
It does.
And the work that she has done for as long as I can remember, which is for a very long time. She is a role model. I don't know if you realize, for many. But a lot of women in that room also stand with Linda in the work that she does in different areas of our community. And so we were able to come together to celebrate something that was for our friend, but we also were able to look around that room. And for me, I saw friends of my own age. I saw friends of my mom who came in town and wanted to celebrate as well. And then I saw the next generation after that. So it was multi-generational.
Yes.
But I think the White Rose, even though it wasn't really being celebrated on that evening, it was in the back of everyone's mind, because right now, the work that Linda has started with the White Rose Society, that I'm blessed to be a part of, is really caught on in our community. And I think it's really important, as you said, that a lot of our Jewish friends want to be a part and ask what they can do. But we also have, or in my experience, I have friends who have come to me that are not Jewish and said, what can we do for you? People who teach leadership to companies, and now part of their leadership training includes a section on anti-Semitism. And we have friends who just, for instance, they're doing their Bible study and they're going to be talking about the story of Esther, and they would love to have someone from the Jewish community or a rabbi speak.
Oh, I love that.
And have that be a part of their learning. This happened to be something that was requested this year, and last year my neighbor, she had the same Bible study, and she asked how to make hamantaschen, and she had different things that represent the story of Esther as part of her Bible study group. Sorry, and it was just, it took me so by surprise. It meant the world to know that this was part of their thought and their thinking, and to wake up one morning and find flowers at my door just to say, I wanted to let you know I'm thinking of you. I know it's a hard day today.
Oh, wow. Wow. Was that after October the 7th?
After October 7th.
Yeah. Well, I think, you both probably don't see, you talked about the ripple effect of what is taking place, and I think that's what we see happening is a ripple effect and an awareness that we need to be a better society. We need to love one another, embrace one another, and pray for one another and pray for Jerusalem. When we were there as a delegation, there were 14 of us. There was a Georgia State Senator with us. And both political parties represented. There were people just in the public sector. There was a Catholic school teacher who teaches on Holocaust history. Tell us
law enforcement.
4 police chiefs.
Yes.
4 police chiefs
Yes.
were with us on this delegation to Israel. Very special time. How did all that come together?
Well, a lot of it had to do with Anat Sultan Dadan, who we spoke about earlier, because she had nominated many people to receive the White Rose over the course of the last 2.5 years.
My dear friend.
Yes, your dear friend,
yes.
And it's because of her that I was able to meet you. So that is our connecting point
It is,
there.
yes.
So talk about the ripple effect. And in seeing what we were doing and seeing the depth and the breadth of really what we were doing as a part of the foreign ministry of Israel, she said, let's try bringing a group of White Rose recipients to Israel, and let's see about that. And I think it really so far surpassed any of our expectations.
No words.
No words. And I came home, and the first thing I said to my husband, he said, how was the trip? And I said, this is going to sound a little corny, but it's totally sincere. I loved each and every person on that trip. Because we really got to know each other in such an intimate and beautiful way. And so those bonds that we formed are forever, as far as I'm concerned.
They are indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an outgrowth of, again, another ripple. I'll tell you another beautiful ripple that's happening. Lisa Branch, who is a federal court judge here in Atlanta, she was a White Rose recipient. And she has been so touched by this. You're wearing your White Rose pen today. She wears her White Rose pen, and because she sits on panels and talks about anti-Semitism and the law. And she's been so moved by this experience and meeting people like yourself that she has decided to write a book profiling some of our White Rose recipients, and I know you're on that list to be interviewed. And just to get the story of what motivates people, what drives their heart to do these beautiful things. And so that's another ripple effect of what's going on. So
amazing, amazing. And you are planning another delegation trip to go back in March. Is that, or it's not a delegation, but a White Rose?
We have a journey that we are going on in March that will include people from all over the United States and a lot of the countries that we have through the Abraham Accords. We have people coming from Morocco. We have people coming from one of them is Syrian, but they do not live in Syria any longer. Or two of them are, and we have such an amazing group going. It's a diverse group, and we're really excited about sharing this experience with them. I don't know if we could ever replicate the first trip that we had, because it's, sometimes that first one is just so spectacular. But this next journey should be really enlightening, being with such a diverse group of people and all of us having the same agenda, which is just to love Israel, love the Israeli community, the diversity of their people, the Jewish people. We have Muslims coming with us. It's really going to be interesting, and it's going to be a learning experience, I think, for all of us that are going. We have about 20 people going with us, so we're very excited.
Very special. I'm very excited for the future of the White Rose Society, and so honored and humbled to be a part of it, and just to be able to share with you all. You can go online to the White Rose Society and find out more about the organization, and I just want to say thank you to both of you for the work that you've done, tireless. You're not quitting, and you inspire me. On days when I want to quit, I think about you. I think about Eitan. I said that one time before, Weiss, our consul general. We can't quit as Christians, and we just believe at this time that God's eye is on Israel, and they are the apple. Israel is the apple of his eye, and it's very important for us to keep our eyes open as to what's happening, and that we share so much in our faith. So much of our Christian faith is rooted and grounded in the Judeo law and writings, and it's very important for us to remember that and to stand in that. So we just want to encourage each of you today. And one other thing I want to say, if you have felt led in any way, if you are a Christian or Jewish friend watching today, and you've had it on your heart to go to Israel, I would encourage you to do it. You'll be so blessed, and you will be changed forevermore. It's an important thing. And be with us again next week. We're going to be back.
This program is brought to you by Heritage Christian Fellowship Incorporated and faithful friends like you. Your tax-deductible donation to Heritage Christian Fellowship Incorporated, founded in 1974, will be used to support this program. To find out more about how you can be a part of sending the gospel through Always More, contact us at alwaysmoretv.org.